David Lynch's Wild at Heart. And this sort of completes the family tree for later, because your dad, Bruce Dern, was on some time ago,
right.
and your mom, Diane Ladd, has
right.
been with us. Reading through the research, I found out that your godmother is Shelley Winters, so you were almost destined to get in front of a camera, I guess.
Well, I consider it such, but my parents were not so supportive. Particularly my mom was very nervous about me being an actress, so I was kind of raised in an environment which brewed becoming an actor, but she was very concerned about it, just because of all the stories I'm sure she shared with you on the show about the struggles of becoming an actor.
When did you decide you wanted to do it, and was it over their objections?
Well, I was really young. I was about 9 when I came to my mom and said, you know, I want to do this, I've got to do this. And, you know, it's my destiny, Mother, please, you know, and when your 9-year-old is saying that to you, I guess you think, well, you know, maybe this is a stage that will pass. But both parents supported me starting acting lessons. And they felt if I did that for 2 years and was dedicated and gave up, you know, playtime and other things to do it, then maybe I was serious, which I did. And then did my first film when I was 11 and started working.
Now, what film was that?
It was called Foxes, which was an Adrian Lyne film. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first one. And I'd done little extra parts in films of both my parents, but, you know, nothing.
Well, the first of those parts was in Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, wasn't it?
Right, yeah. I played a little girl eating an ice cream cone. And I guess sort of the story goes that I'm sure that that's where I got the bug, because I overheard Martin Scorsese saying to my mother, God, we had to do this take 19 times, so she had to eat 19 ice cream cones and didn't throw up. This girl's got to be an actress. And you know, Martin Scorsese said I had to be an actress, so that's the story. But I really fell in love with it, and I think I was even more serious and dedicated about it as a teenager, even almost than I am now. There was a real drive in me about it.
What do you attribute that to?
I think that I've always been fascinated with honesty and authenticity. And I was raised very fortunately in an environment personally in which my parents showed me in life and in work that that was a priority. And they're very dedicated actors, and they believe in the craft as a very pure, creative path. And I think that really interested me, the idea of learning to be so completely honest that someone else can feel a part of you or be affected by you, or that's where, you know, how I thought of it as a girl. And, you know, and I was so moved by film and loved it, you know, loved great acting and great movies, so.
What are some of the films that you saw as a kid or as a young woman that stick with you?
Well, I think probably in terms of having to go to therapy, the key in my childhood was Walt Disney, who I think is very responsible for a lot of my, you know, kind of waiting for Prince Charming on the white horse, which is a dilemma of a lot of young women that I know. But there were so many images in my childhood from Disney that were potent and terrifying and disturbing.
Some of that stuff is a lot scarier than people realize.
Night on Bald Mountain in Fantasia, the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. I would never let my child see that. I shouldn't say that. Anti-Walt Disney comments. And Snow White, which is a twisted, I mean, people think David Lynch is twisted. Are you kidding me? Snow White is twisted, and Cinderella is twisted. The Wicked Stepmother's the most vicious, horrible creature. And Wizard of Oz, I mean, there were great films that had these characters that were so disturbing and amazing. I think Wizard of Oz was a big influence on me.
Everyone you mentioned, if there are villains, they're all women. They're all villainous women.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm just here to introduce topics and then get out of the way.
But in terms of film, I think, you know, I loved old movies, or I think I was encouraged to love them because my mom was always watching them late at night. So I fell in love with Hepburn and Stanwyck and, you know, all these great characters, and I loved Preston Sturges films. You know, The Lady Eve is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Well, with that kind of background, how did it affect you to see your father as a relatively young actor in a movie with Bette Davis? He gets chopped to pieces in Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte,
Yeah,
which scared the hell out of me when I was like 12 years old. Just scared me for months.
Well, the memory, which maybe I've blocked, I don't know if I've blocked it or forgotten it in some way, but I'm told, I know I was about 5 or 6, and I was, you know, watching the television and turned it on, and there was this image of Bette Davis standing at the top of a staircase and had a hat box in her hand, and as it opens up, this head rolls down the stairs,
Yep.
and as it kind of comes into frame, it was my father, or my father's head, which was the most terrifying image. I mean, it was terrifying anyway, as you say, but to be my father's head was very disturbing and confusing, so immediately my mom got him on the phone, and he explained to me that he was alive and well and full-bodied. So that was a good realization. But I must say, I'm still not good at friends or family seeing them, you know, killed or hurt in any way in a movie. Is very emotional for me. I mean, my dad in King of Marvin Gardens, my mother in Chinatown, that both had rather dramatic, horrible deaths, and I'd rather not see it.
So obviously a lot of this work you caught up with on The Late Show or on tape because it's done either before you were born or when you were a small child.
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, King of Marvin Gardens I saw in Paris in a revival house when I was about 19, because I still think it's not available on video, which is an amazing movie. I love that film. So yeah, I'm sort of catching up with their work from the past. That's the one thing I'm sad about with theater, you know, is my parents met, you know, doing this play, Orpheus Descending, off Broadway, which is the play version of The Fugitive Kind.
Mm-hmm.
And to have been able to see them on stage together in their meeting stage would have been extraordinary. But I did see also, which finally became available on video, The Wild Angels, which I think I was conceived around the time of the making of that Roger Corman spectacular extravaganza, and it was extraordinary because being a child from divorce, I had never, you know, in my teenage years, I didn't see them together romantically, and they have a very romantic love scene in the movie and things like that. So to see that was pretty amazing.
Did that help you piece things together, or did that have some symbolic meaning for you?
It did, you know, and they're very helpful because they're very honest about their relationship. As I'm sure you know from talking to my dad, he's very straightforward, as my mom is, about their lives. But, you know, even though they're friends, there's still a physical separation when people are divorced, or from my experience. So when Dad would pick me up at Mom's house, the hug was slightly uncomfortable, or it just wasn't obviously husband and wife. And this was, you know, passionate kissing and holding, and to know that sort of you came from that is I think, a very healing and good feeling.
This is a MasterCard, okay? Sure, no card is more accepted on the planet, but it doesn't make you special. Well, actually, maybe it does. I mean, right now, the Master Values program can save you up to 25% on all kinds of stuff, and even cash can't do that. You just get the Master Values coupon thingy from your statement, go to one of the stores on the list and say, hey, I got a MasterCard, how about a deal? And they'll say, for you, no problem. So I guess MasterCard really does mean you're special. Just don't let it go to your head. MasterCard, it's more than a credit card, it's smart money.
What do you call a chili cheese chip without creamy chili cheese? Flat. New chili cheese combos. See why combos taste better? Guess what combos is pouring into crunchy baked pretzels? Say cheese. Cheddar pretzel combos. See why combos taste better?
For really tough hair clogs, you need a drain opener with an advantage. And only one liquid drain opener won't dilute in standing water, so even more power gets to the clog. New, improved, professional strength liquid plumber. The plumber to call first.
One shot. All it takes for weeds. Roundup.
Long Island. From business support programs and high-tech research to government assistance and utility rate incentives, Long Island is helping its companies get what they need to succeed in today's marketplace. Last year, hundreds of companies took advantage of the island's economic development programs to keep their businesses going strong. Give us a call to find out how we can help your business.
Long Island, long on innovation.
And we're back with Laura Dern. I want to show you something from when your dad was here nearly 4 years ago now. He was talking about the scene at the end of Coming Home. He gave a great performance, and his character commits suicide by just swimming out to sea. And he was telling me about what an effect that has on him and how difficult it is for him to watch it even now, because he just can't picture himself in those circumstances in truth. And I guess an actor has to imagine, even if it isn't what he or she is likely to do, you have to project yourself into the situation. Is it possible? And he says there's no way under any circumstances that well, I'll let him explain it. Here it is.
Well, it's still the only role that I cannot watch the end of the movie in. In other words, I don't have trouble watching myself die in a movie, but I'm not a suicide. And I have trouble watching myself take my If anything was right or wrong about Vietnam, the only thing that should have never happened was guys like that should not have had to do what my character did at the end of the movie. Somebody should have been there to not necessarily in war only, but in life.
What thoughts go through your mind as you see that?
It makes me very emotional. A little embarrassing that I'm crying. I'm very, affected by my parents' work. I just really am. It's just really moving, and it's a very moving time in our period, and it really affects me a lot, and everything he said is so true. It's just, it's a tragedy that anybody goes through that, and I just get so excited that that I come from a family that have been able to make statements with their work. My sadness is that they can't do that every day of their life. You know, I'm sad that my father can't be acting every single day for the rest of his life, because he's just a beautiful actor, and he's so pure. And my mother, I mean this in earnest, as an actor, not because they're my parents in any way. Hopefully I can be somewhat detached. I mean, I know it makes me emotional because it's my father too, and I know his pain, and I see his pain in the scene. But to know that that they want to be parts of films that that say something about our struggle as a culture, as people, is just fantastic to me. And I'm sure that's why I fell in love with, you know, wanting to do it myself. But I'm really sad that, you know, actors that love it that much can't work every single day.
Is it because the roles at this stages of their careers aren't being offered, or the right kind of roles aren't offered and they turn them down?
I think both. You know, I think that I was lucky enough to be raised by people who revealed to me that careers are cyclic like everything else. And, you know, you can have the biggest career in the world for 10 years and then you fall away forever. You can, you know, my parents luckily have always been actors. They were never overnight hot stars in one marketable movie, that which I think is a lot scarier probably than working at your craft and doing lots of different roles in succession over time. So I think, yeah, I think unfortunately the business doesn't have a lot of great roles for anybody right now. The kinds of movies that are being made, people are scared monetarily. It's a tough time in our economy, and if we can get Schwarzenegger to star in it, it's only going to protect us as a corporation, which are now the people that are making movies are corporate structures. They're not independent movie producers, you know, in terms of big industry in the movie business. So there's less room for solely great acting.
Like your parents, you've tried to make some decisions based on, as best you can determine it, the quality of the work rather than the potential box office of the film, which doesn't mean you don't want to be in a hit movie, but it's not consideration number one.
Right.
And an example of that was that you could have been in a movie with Rob Lowe as a teenager, right? And you turned that down?
Hey, how'd you hear about that? Yeah, I had an opportunity to do a movie, which was at the time considered, you know, potentially very popular and, you know, successful and larger money at hand for everyone involved and all of that stuff. But I was, with great fortune, offered the role in Mask of this blind girl who falls in love with Rocky.
It's okay now, because I know you still love me.
I do, I really do. I wish we could run away and be together all the time.
We can't run away, Diana.
I know.
But we can sort of run away in our minds. We can remember camp and the mountains and the ocean.
And colored rocks and billowy cotton.
Yeah.
And New Year's Eve.
Especially New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
She had a sweetness that I fell in love with, you know, on the page from a beautifully written script. And had the opportunity to do that. So I took it, much to my agent's dismay at the time, but felt very right about the choice and was thrilled to be part of that movie, and was a great opportunity for me as an actress, I think.
I'm told that some people, including Barbara Streisand for one, who expressed her appreciation, thought you actually were blind, that you played it so convincingly. And since they didn't know who you were, I guess it was your first movie that people took any note of, they thought you were blind.
Wow. I think that's a good thing. I guess that's a good thing. That's pretty funny too, though. Yeah, I mean, I hope that that was the case. You know, that's certainly the greatest compliment I could ask for.
Now this is red.
Ah!
And when
God,
it cools
it's red?
down, When that cools down, it'll be pink.
Rocky, I understand.
Okay, hold on a second. This is billowy.
Wow.
And this is beautiful.
Rocky.
In a world of flat chips, what do you call crunchy baked shells surrounding smooth, creamy fillings? Role models. See why combos taste better? What do you combos taste better? What do you call a hole in a crunchy baked pretzel? Room for improvement. Now filled with creamy spicy mustard. New spicy mustard combos. See why combos taste better?
The no-nonsense American woman is now in great shape. The no-nonsense battalion chief, Nish Willis. College dean, Bonnie Gatan. The no-nonsense pool champion, Ava Mataya. New great shapes, the comfortable figure-smoothing pantyhose that help slim your tummy, hips, and even your thighs. The no-nonsense actress, Celia Ward. Women who do great things are in great shapes.
No-nonsense American woman.
The new limited edition Nissan Sentra, with standard features like cruise control, air conditioning, and a 4-speaker AM/FM cassette stereo, cost $2,000 less than a comparably equipped Toyota Corolla. $2,000. Just think, you can use that to buy your first tank of gas. Lease the limited edition Nissan Sentra now, just $159 down and $159 a month.
Hey, Brooklyn, you asked for home entertainment at incredibly low prices, and we heard you.
Don't miss the grand opening of an incredible new Nobody Beats the Wiz Superstore at 86th Street and Bay Parkway in Brooklyn, New York. All stores celebrate with a grand opening sale on the top name brands in home entertainment, computers, cameras, cellular phones, music, movies, and a whole lot more. Don't miss the grand opening of the newest Nobody Beats the Wiz on Bay Parkway in Brooklyn.
Nobody beats the Wiz. Nobody beats the Wiz.
Your performance in Rambling Rose was widely praised. Your mother, Diane Ladd, is in the film, and so is Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
What did you learn from Duvall? He's legendary for his meticulous preparation, and yet he may be different on the set. I found him, in sitting around, not intense. Intense in some of his answers, perhaps, but not intense in his demeanor.
Yeah, I think I found that if you trust yourself, then you really never have to feel a negative influence from anybody else. You know, there's a theory that a great actor has the answer, you know, that method acting is the way, or that, you know, the RADA School of Acting in London is the way, and, you know, whatever it takes to make you feel comfortable with your craft is obviously the answer for you. And I worked very differently from Bob and from my mother, which is, you know, was an interesting thing to watch, because we'd all have emotional scenes together, and you know, the preparation time before the scene was very different for every, you know, one person can, you know, make a joke and action and then be right there, and some people need preparation time in various different ways, and we all work differently, and I think it helped me to trust that, you know, my way was correct for me, and that I didn't have to feel, because I admire them and they've been doing it for longer, that they've got the crystal clear answer. They do for them, absolutely, and I respect it immensely, but I didn't feel, why aren't I more like him, or why aren't I doing it his way, you know? But I think he also encouraged me to laugh and have a good time, and that was good too, because it was as fun and sweet as it is, and everyone says, oh, I'm sure it was such a wonderful film for you to work on. It was rather painful because she was she was in a lot of pain, that character. Mm-hmm. And her pain makes us laugh. I mean, in the scene between myself and Lucas Haas in bed, it's very comical because she's in agony talking about her love for his father and lying in bed, you know, in one world, while he's next to her wanting to get to know her body in a completely another world.
It's your daddy. I'm so much in love with him, I'm out of my mind.
I could
could such a thing happen?
Well, you know, when I first come, and he says I look graceful like the capital letter S and call me Rosebud, I fell madly in love with that man right then. But it's a lost love. He's a good man. Won't have nothing to do with me.
Rose, can I touch you here? It's soft. It's awful soft.
Well, what'd you expect, mate?
I thought it was more like a cantaloupe.
It's some idea, cantaloupe.
It's the start of summer savings now at the Sears Brand Central Memorial Day sale. Get hot deals.
Well, you know us, Sammy. We'll watch just about anything.
That's funny. Can't get the channel to change. Stop.
Yeah, that's all right, Sammy. It's probably something okay on this channel.
Find out more. Call 1-800-US Bonds.
From New York, it's Late Night with David Letterman.
Good night, Sam. Good night, Sam. Wait a minute. This'll work. Give me a second.